Let's go! New York, Philly sports premiere. The rivals starting tonight. Let's go.
Oh my God! I'm embarrassed! You're flying!
Welcome in. It's almost time.
Welcome. Finally, long time in the making. Rivals podcast here for A2D Radio. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, wherever you get your podcasts. Weekly, Mondays at 10:30. I'm Luke. He's Jordan. I'm Philly. He's New York. I'm a cool Philly fan. He's a scumbag New York fan. So let's get right into it with a sponsor. Jordan, you got it.
Before we start, we want to give a shout out to FanUp. FanUp is the best way to enjoy fantasy sports, daily MLB contests, and more. Win great prizes. Sign up today. Use promo code A2D for 5,000 bonus points at a $50 value in the App Store. FanUp. All right, and our poll of today. Let's start it off. Saquon Barkley is going to play for the New York Giants this season. Agree or disagree? Listen, me being a biased New York Giants fan, I'm really hoping he gets his contract worked out. I mean, there's not many guys this year, running backs, that are making more money than him. You got Derrick Henry, you got Nick Chubb that are getting big cap hits. I think he's got to play for the Giants. He's got to take that $14 million and he's got to just go to work. They got the weapons now around Daniel Jones with Darren Waller, Paris Campbell, Isaiah Hodgins, you name it, the Giants got it, Let's go out there. Let's shock some fools. Saquon, come play for the fucking Giants.
See, this is why I'm happy we're doing this, because now we get all these live viewers get to listen to how dumb all you Giants fans are. It's really sick. I completely disagree to the poll. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. All I'm going to say is that we were building this script of what we were going to say. In the first poll, it's really built up. We were waiting this for a while. This kid drops in the poll, and he talks about Saquon Barkley and the Giants. I will give an honest answer, but I first want to say, as an Eagles fan, a team that was just in the Super Bowl, just signed Swift and all these guys, I'm going to tell you that I don't really give a shit. It doesn't really matter to me. The Giants don't scare me. Sure, we might, we might split the season series. It's possible. But at the end of the day, they do not scare me. But in all seriousness, I will say that I probably agree to the poll, just because I think that being a Penn State guy, it's hard to root against Saquon. And I think that he's got that competitive spirit at the end of the day. And I think he's going to want to go out there. But I will say this, that, you got to feel for Saquon, because he's the reason. I don't know if you're man enough to admit this. Maybe you are.
No. I know where you're going with this.
He's the reason.
He is not the reason.
He's the reason. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying the reason that Daniel Jones is looked at as a top 10, 12 fringe around their quarterback is probably because he's on the
what
team.
Saquon can do with the ball. Sure, I can.
I would have no problem with that if they paid Saquon. However, they chose to pay him, which is all. You could do that, fine. Same time, to pay him and not pay the guy for his. Dable's a huge help, don't get me wrong. Same time, how could you not share the wealth to Saquon? That's my question to you.
Listen.
But I do want to throw out there that I do think he'll play this season, because I think he's got the competitive juices, and I think he sees Waller, and I think he's going to stick it to him and say, you know what, I'm going to go out and prove to him I deserve the bag. But that being said.
No, listen, I totally agree with that, they paid Jones, they didn't pay Barkley. But at the same time, running backs are they are at a frequency in the NFL. You have great running backs all around the NFL. You got running backs teams that even have two good running backs. You can't pay a running back. They're offering him $14 million. This guy tore his ACL 2 years ago. How the hell are you going to pay him more than $14 million? And how is he expecting that? That is my question. Sure, he's a generational talent. He is one of, if not the most talented running backs in the NFL right now, and I can say that with full confidence. And I bet you would agree with that, even being an Eagles fan. But
100%. I love Saquon.
But then again, he's a running back. If you do not take this contract, sure, you might go to a better team. You're not getting more money than that, and I can guarantee it.
You might be right. Same time, from an Eagles fan perspective, I pray to God, that the Giants don't give him whatever he asked for. If I'm a Giants fan, I'm willing to deal with the cap hits throughout these next few seasons, knowing that he's on my team. Because without him, you're fucked. I hate to say it, but you know you are. At least for the time being. Like, who's your backup run? Is it still Breida? Is he
It's
the
still Breida, dude.
right?
But
So
listen.
I am fully, completely unscared of whatever the hell cap room they're gonna save or whatever. Our third guy, Kenneth Gainwell, is 20 times better than your second guy, who we're having this discussion right now. He might be playing. He might get all the touches.
There's
See.
no way Kenneth Gainwell gets all the touches.
No. I'm saying Breida would get all the touches.
Dude. If Saquon Barkley holds out from this contract, which he won't, I'm confident the Giants will work something out. Then you know what? They'll bring in a guy that can work that running back room, that can get on the field, make some plays, and get the Giants into the playoffs. I'm confident of that.
I think you're out of your mind. You gotta start thinking in the world of a reasonable fan.
I'm thinking reasonably. I'm thinking realistically.
I'm trying to help you because again, I am the one that's got to root against them every week, and I really would rather root against a team that's without Saquon Barkley personally.
Oh, look who we got up right now. Let's go Mets. Danny Berger's up, bases loaded right now. Danny Berger's hit one out. He is a monster. Just quick off topic. Danny Berger's, love the guy. Sure, Buck, you got to get him out of New York, but he is an absolute meme. Got to keep him in New York.
Question about that fat piece of shit. I have a question about him. I was thinking about this because you were texting me earlier about him in the home run. All these guys, they hit a base hit to like corner left field. I'm running to second base. I'm making that easily. I would love. Can we bring that fat piece of shit? Can we bring him to somewhere in Cherry Hill-ish or whatever? I'd love to take him in a 40. If you think he's hitting the ball to the left field into the corner and that left fieldman's getting the ball, is he running to second base? Is he going to make it? Have you seen that? Because I don't watch Mets games like you do, but has that ever happened?
I'd like nah. He's very reasonable with his speed. He often will outdo himself though, and he'll be like, you know what, I'm gonna make it, and he gets nailed. He is one of the slowest motherfuckers I've seen. I think all the Eagles offensive linemen and the Giants offensive linemen move quicker than him. And you know what? My favorite thing is when he goes up there and he just looks at strike three. He just looks. He watches it like he's watching the clouds. Like, what are you doing up there, dude?
What has he ever played in the field at any level of his life?
You know what? I bet you can guess
Catcher?
where he would play. Nope.
Catcher?
Second guess.
No, I don't. I have no idea.
Second guess. Where do most of fat people play?
I'm not a big baseball guy. But I'm gonna go
Prince
first
Fielder,
base.
Miguel Cabrera. Where do they all play?
You're exposing me in front of all these people right now. I'm gonna go first base.
Yes, he played first base for the Pirates a little bit, and now he just strictly is a designated hitter. And Buck loves him. But let's move on. Our second topic of the day: NFC East offseason grades.
Do you want to first? All right, we'll get into that first. Do you want to go team by team first?
Yeah. So let's start off with our common most hated team, the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, we can beat up on them. That's cool.
So I mean, they go out, they sign a old veteran like Brandon Cooks. Sure, he's got some gas left in the tank, not much. Who else did they even get this offseason? I'm blanking on it. They lost Ezekiel Elliott. Tony Pollard might not even play week one. He's still hurt. Still hasn't been training camp. Who do they have this offseason that improved their team?
That's pretty val. I was gonna go another way. So are you gonna give him a grade?
I was gonna wait for you and then give him a grade.
All right. I like the signings they made, the players they have on their team. I think they've done all they could do. I'll give them that. You know, they don't have a lot of cap room. I am completely against the Dak Prescott career year thing. I feel like I think too many times in sports, someone's in a big market and one of two things happens. You either give them too many chances or you don't give them enough. And I think Dak Prescott's at that level now in his career where people bury him during the season. He sucks, he sucks, he sucks. And then during the offseason, all we hear about is his breakout season. It's not going to happen. Okay.
Mhm.
And on top of that, I can guarantee you it's not going to happen because of the guy who's calling plays. He's a fraud. The last thing that they should have done is what they did. That Mike McCarthy's going to call plays. Are you fucking kidding me? I am I'm not concerned
That's a
whatsoever
guy
about
I'm
that.
confident Daniel Vogelbach could beat in a race. Mike
All right,
McCarthy.
I would love to see that. That would be interesting. We got to get that up. If we can get a graphic of that, of like a, that would be
40 side by side. Yeah.
yeah.
I
I'd
also
love to
just
see the
found
statistics
out
on
that
that.
the Cowboys got Gilmore. Awesome. Another washed up player they signed this offseason. Or
No, I
excuse me,
mean,
they traded for him.
I'm not going to shit on the players they got. I think that they did a pretty good job. All I'm saying is that I would be way more intimidated if they kept Kellen Moore, but they let him go, and now they have Mike McCarthy calling plays. I mean, to me, you want to flex your Super Bowl ring, please do, please. Aaron Rodgers is one of the most arguably the greatest talent the league has ever seen. Argue up there, he's up there. He's won one. That's it. That's it. And at the end of it, he was still in his prime. He left and then he won 2 MVPs. So how great of a play caller are you? I think he's going to get exposed. I think this could be probably his last year as a head coach there.
Without
So
question. That
for
that
that
guy cannot
reason,
call
for
plays.
that reason, I think that overshadows every single move that they made that I thought was good. So I'm going to give him a D.
All right. You're not far off where I was gonna give him. I was gonna give him a C minus. Sure, you got some names, but they're getting older. You got Brandon Cooks, you got Stephon Gilmore. These are guys that, yes, they made plays, but they made them 5 years ago. Coming down the line, they're getting older. They're not going to be making plays. Dak Prescott, Dallas, give up on him already. I'm sorry. Sure, he makes his plays sometimes. He is not your quarterback. Give up on him. Because I listen, I can't stand the Cowboys. Sure, I hate Philly more. I'm from right outside of Philly. I hate Philly more. I can't stand the Cowboys because you know what? They are not better than us, yet they always either take both or split the season series, and I hate it.
Yeah, I don't blame. All right, you want to go into the? Oh wait, first of all, I just want to say I don't think we said it in the intro. Shout out all the boys at home watching. We know. Go in the chat. Be more than welcome. We'd love to go back and forth with you the best we can as we get into this. Drop your thoughts the best you can.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the Commanders before we get into our two teams. You can go ahead with that one first.
All right. Yeah. So I mean, pulling up their off season, not too many guys I can find right now. I mean, they got Cam Dantzler, the cornerback from the Vikings. They got a washed up Nick Gates who had a gruesome knee injury from the Giants. Uh Re-signed Daron Payne, signed Jacoby Brissett. Who is going to be playing quarterback for those guys?
Oh, I
Is,
forgot they got
is it
Jacoby
going? Is
Brissett.
it going to
I
be
forgot
Sam
about that.
Howell? Is it going to be Jacoby Brissett? Is it going to be somebody that we don't even know? Like,
Right.
who is going to be playing quarterback for those guys?
I
Because
totally forgot they got Jacoby Brissett. I
yeah,
didn't.
no, I didn't even know until I just looked at this. I mean, they have great running backs surrounding him. Brian Robinson, honestly, what a story. I mean, having his knee shot and coming back and just, having a great year just in the very few games he played. Um, you got the two wide receivers in McLaurin and Jahan Dotson. Gotta love Dotson, even though he's on the Commanders, absolute stud from Penn State. Their defense honestly has fallen off. I mean, sure, you still have Chase Young. Yeah, the Commanders did flop on their first round pick, Harrison. It was honestly pretty embarrassing. But yeah, I mean it's going to be interesting to see what the Commanders actually do in this heat of a division. I'd like to say that they are probably going to finish last, and honestly, they might enter the Caleb Williams sweepstakes, which I think would be in their best interest. But
Right.
overall grade on their offseason, I'm going to have to give a D minus.
Demon. All right. That's a little harsh. I feel like we have to put things into perspective. I think with them, with the whole ownership thing, it's a hard place to recruit people. And I think right now, I think that they're going through a maturity stage where it's going to be different. That scumbag Josh Harris is going to own their team now. So have fun with them. Another team he's going to own. So yeah, I don't know. I think that they're doing the best they can with what they have. I think that Sam Howell's interesting. I'm not saying he's good. I'm not saying that I think he's going to be great. I'm not saying any. I don't know. What I'm saying is that they're not in the win now stage, and I don't like saying that about NFL teams because they always try to go out and win now. But same time, they're throwing him out there because they got nothing to lose, and I feel more confident about him, like a outside of the first round pick, than I did like a Drew Lock per se, because he was highly recruited. North Carolina, they don't turn out well in the NFL. They don't. Mitchell Trubisky was not a good project there. I'll say that. But I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah. Don't
sure.
forget his Nickelodeon most valuable player. Don't forget his Nickelodeon
Oh,
most
there you go.
valuable player.
Forgot about that one.
One of
But
the
I'm
only
not.
awards he's won.
I'm, I'm not one to think that he is gonna stink that bad. I'm not gonna say he's great, and I'm not gonna say that they're not gonna come in last in the division. But I'm not automatically writing them. Plus, they're also getting Chase Young back. We would think, you know, hopefully for them, for their sake, finally
They
get
need
him
him.
back.
They
They
need him
need
on
it.
that
I mean, their
defense.
defensive line is really good. Offensive line, I don't know enough
I'm not
about,
too
but
familiar with,
they always.
honestly.
It seems that they always put a lot of resources into that. So at least they're surrounding him with good talent, receiver. Um, is Thomas back, the tight end? I think he was
Logan
hurt last
Thomas,
year.
I I I think he's honestly not all that.
He's not great. He's a
He also
solid.
got hurt.
He's whatever.
No,
But
he's an average tight end. I mean, he's a guy that will get you in the end zone when you need to be in the end zone. But
yeah, right.
I
As
mean,
much
he's
as I'm about to shit on
nothing
the
special.
Giants when we go to them next, but
Dude,
I
dude,
we'll save that. It's hard to imagine them not coming in last
the
unless,
Giants, the
no,
Giants.
no, the Commanders. The
Okay,
Commanders.
okay.
Unless
Ooh,
there's like a
ooh,
huge
ooh.
injury or something like
No,
that
you almost gave me a
happens.
heart
And
attack there.
I also want to throw out there how bad I feel for Ron Rivera. This guy's been going through it, and now he's got to deal with all these coaches.
Yeah,
I
dude,
mean, all this horrible
he
teams and management and
he's a
the whole
great
cancer
guy
thing.
too. I
He's
mean,
going through it. He deserves better. Get him
he's a
a good
great guy.
quarterback.
I've seen him in
I
interviews.
hope they don't get
He
Caleb
seems like a
Williams
personable
because
guy.
yeah, I don't. I hope they don't get Caleb Williams. I don't want to root against him for all these years, but I will say that he deserves it. If any coach deserves to coach Caleb Williams, it's him. All right,
All right,
let's go. The chat's
your final grade.
oh shit. A C, I guess. I can't really
That's
shit on
crazy.
him, but I
That's
can't
crazy.
really. But they got Dan Snyder out, so I guess that's a huge win.
Dan Snyder. Oh
That's
god,
got to be a win.
that guy is a laughing stock. All right, why don't you start on let's see what you got to think about these Giants. I'm interested to hear it.
I think pre-draft they had arguably one of the best off seasons in the league. And
Okay.
I'm not here to shit on the guys that they drafted because I don't know enough about them to sit up here and call them busts. And you can't do that, especially in the
Sure.
later picks. So I'm not going to shit on anyone that they have. I will say, especially as someone who watched the draft with you, they had plenty opportunity and they had plenty chances and they should have, given what happened and the resources that ended up getting released out there on Twitter and stuff. They should have traded up for one of those receivers. And the
100%.
fact, if they did that again, even if they got JSN or Flower, it didn't matter. Didn't matter to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not scared. I won't be scared. Let me be very clear before I praise him for a little bit. I will say though that they should get one of those other guys. Waller was a good pickup. It does scare me a little bit. Well, I'm happy, but if I were a Giants fan, I would be definitely scared, as we talked about earlier. The Saquon situation is not pretty at all. Paying Daniel Jones, is that really the right thing to do? We'll see. To me, the whole Giants offseason is just like a we'll see. Because Daniel Jones, it's all well and good. You had one good year. Can you do it again? And I think Brian Daboll's a great coach. And it pains me to say, it pains me to see him coach the Giants. But same time, I think they're in a good spot. So I praised them enough. And I'll even go as far to say this. I think, given what I said earlier about the whole Mike McCarthy thing and him calling plays, it would not shock me in the slightest if the Giants have a better record at the end of the day than the Cowboys, because they are by far the better coach team. So I'll leave it at that.
100%. No, I agree with that. I'll agree with you. I was very iffy on the Daniel Jones signing. I mean, you gave him you gave him 40 million a year after one good year. Sure. I love the guy. He's a great story coming out of Duke. Didn't have the best first year, didn't have the best second year, had a turnover problem, got rid of that. Last year was doing pretty well. Got him into the playoffs for a first time in a while. Won him a playoff game against Minnesota Vikings, whom they lost to on a last-second field goal in the regular season. You brought in weapons like Darren Waller. You brought in Bobby Okereke, finally a middle linebacker that you have since letting go of Blake Martinez, who honestly was one of my favorite Giants. Just a great solid core in the middle of the defense. And then their draft, honestly, rubbed me the wrong way. Sure, you got a top corner in Deonte Banks, what probably I'd say the fourth corner behind Witherspoon, Gonzalez, and Porter. But you left guys on the board that you could have easily traded up for. And then they traded back one pick. Am I correct? If I'm correct.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I believe they traded back one pick, which was stupid. I mean, and then they let Joey Porter go all the way into the second round. How do you let that happen? Sure, Joey Porter is exactly like Adoree Jackson in that he's a fundamental corner. And sure, Deonte Banks is a physical corner. But you got to make the right pick there and pick Joey Porter Jr. or trade up and get one of those big name receivers. I love Hodgins. I love Paris Campbell. They're not a wide receiver one. Darren Waller is going to be a great impact if he can stay healthy on this offense. They got some big defensive linemen and Ashawn Robinson, bringing back Jihad Ward. Kayvon Thibodeau definitely going to make that next step to becoming that one of the top defense edge rushers. I truly believe it. And yeah, so no bias. I'm going to have to give this offseason a B+.
All right, that was cute. I'll say two things for what you said. One is that it was hard to take you seriously with your headphones tied like that. It was a pretty tough look on you.
Dude.
Two, I'll say
you're fucking tangled, dude.
Two, I'll say is that was a lot of words. That was hard to keep track of, especially as an Eagles
All right,
fan.
let's let's hear your take on the Eagles offseason.
No, because I just want to say first, again, the Giants could have made all these great moves. I don't give a shit. It doesn't matter. You're not on our level. It's not even close. So,
dude, you guys went to the Super Bowl and you lost. You choked. What was it? 21-10. 21-10. You guys blew that lead.
We choked all that. I admit that 100%. Same time, your refute as a Giants fan, to come back and say that we choked in the Super Bowl is embarrassing and sad.
Dude,
That's
sure.
like
We got
when us Eagle fans, we like talking about what our team is now, and then you're like, oh, like we won 2 Super Bowl, one more than you. I don't give a shit. It doesn't matter. That's in 2008.
yeah.
I
We
was
won
6
4. We
years
won
old.
4.
I don't
Listen,
care.
we won 4. We won 4. We won 2 in my lifetime. We won 4.
Right. I meant the
So get it
lifetime. That's
right.
what I meant.
Yeah. All
I
right.
meant the
Let's
lifetime thing.
let's move on. Let's move on to
Oh,
the
I just want to give the grade first.
Okay, let's hear
I
it.
will give the Giants pending because the Saquon thing could change.
Yeah.
I'll give him a B minus, but if they figure out this Saquon thing and he's playing, I'll give him an A minus.
All right.
And
fair.
it should be an A plus if they went up and drafted one of those receivers.
Yeah.
Then
fair.
it'd be an A plus, but didn't happen.
All right.
Now, all right.
You want me to start on your birds or should I say
ahead.
the pigeons? All right. So Eagles, I'm not gonna lie, their offseason is pretty impressive. I mean, they got some key guys in the secondary and bringing back your 2 corners. James Bradbury, thank the Lord you choked in the Super Bowl. Thank the Lord. It hurt my heart to see you go to the Birds and then you choked it in the Super Bowl, and I'm like, I don't miss you at all. I don't miss you one bit. But you guys brought in some offensive weapons. You guys brought in Penny. You brought in Swift. You had a good draft. You drafted all of Georgia. You drafted some Bama players. I mean, I wish the Giants fucking did some SEC drafting and not drafted a Maryland corner. But hey, I have high aspirations of them. All I'm gonna say, the D line is aging. It's aging quickly. You got Cox. You got Graham, dude. Those guys, they got a couple more years in them and they're done, dude. They're done. I can't wait to see them sitting on the side of Philly. Yo, can I get some money? But all jokes aside, I think the Eagles' offseason was very successful. You know, you're replacing the holes that you needed to. Sure, Jalen Hurts got $51 million a year. Wow, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money to be paying him. You know, what was he? Had one good year? One good year? All right. But enough said. Let's bring it to you. Let's see the
I want to
let's
hear
see
your
the buys
grade.
here.
I want to hear your grade first.
The grade? I'll you know what? I'll lower my Giants grade to a B and I'll say the Eagles have a B plus because I think the Eagles had a slightly better offseason than the Giants.
All right, I'll go quick before we go to a commercial, but I'm going to say I'm giving the Eagles an A, a flat A.
Okay.
And I mean that unbiasedly because I was scared, terrified actually, going into the offseason. Losing CJ, losing Hargrave is a massive, massive underrated loss. And as you said about the aging thing, I look at that as a positive because you're talking about 2 guys that are second stringers. And also, Fletcher Cox is a borderline bum now. He's not the same. I respect him. I love him for all he's done.
Sure.
I think they paid him a little bit too much money, but it's cool. He deserves it. We'll take him back. He's the 3rd defensive tackle. The 3rd. He's in the second string. I think Jordan Davis is only up from here. Hopefully he stays healthy.
Yeah.
Nolan's and before when you took a shit on Brandon Graham, let me just say he had a career year last year. So he had his best season at this age. But even if you want to call him old, even if you want to, I'm cool. I don't think he's old because he just had his best year of his career. But if you want to call him old, I'm cool with that because guess what? We just got the guy coming up next who the fact that he fell is fucking out of this world.
That was ridiculous. That was ridiculous.
Let me tell you something. If we drafted him at 10, I still would have been ecstatic. I would have been on top of the world. We got him at 30. Ridiculous stuff.
No, ridiculous.
So the D line is looking really good. And they even improved in an area. The running back room is 10 times better what it is now. You have 3 guys that can, if stay healthy, but they're going to get less touches. So I think higher chance they stay healthy if they get all these lesser touches. I think that they will be a lot better. Only 2 questions I have are safety and linebacker. Please, Nakobe Dean, live up to the hype. That would be amazing. So yeah, I think we're about to cut to a commercial, and we'll come right back and we'll get into some NBA.
Hey, Birds fans, the NFL schedule has arrived and Philly Sports Trips has all the details now. Visit the site phillysportstrips.com. This is sure to be an epic season. Be sure to go there now to make sure that you don't get shut out. Join us in Tampa, LA, Seattle, or when we get revenge in Kansas City. Don't want to fly? No problem. Gather up your crew and hop aboard one of our signature boisterous bus trips to DC or New York. Sign up now and make sure to mention A2D. Don't miss out on the best Philly fan experience anywhere. Philly Sports Trip customers always stay at the best hotels and meet NFL legends. Book today.
Awesome. Thank you, Philly. But now we're gonna go around to the NBA. We'll start off with the most recent move of Bradley Beal yesterday being dealt to the Phoenix Suns for Chris Paul, Landry Shamet, I believe 2 seconds and a bunch of pick swaps.
I
Luke,
think
what
it
are your
was
thoughts
six.
on
I
this?
think it was 6 seconds. Actually, it was six. I think. I don't think the official amount
Six
came
seconds,
out, but
six
I
second
think
round picks.
yeah. So I read up, and nothing's confirmed. So all of this
Yeah,
stuff is just thrown out there. But what I read is that they don't have another draft pick until the 2030s,
that is
first
ridiculous.
or second round.
That's ridiculous. Yeah, Luke, what are your thoughts on this?
I think if you look at it from a trade perspective, in terms of what they gave up and what they got back, I think it's hard to say that it was the wrong move. However, I'm a firm believer, and I'm a big fan of JJ Redick. He's going on ESPN now, and he's uh, praising a bunch of good stuff to the world. So something I believe that he says all the time is 1 and 2 will get you there, and 3, 4, 5, and 6 win you championships.
Okay.
So Phoenix last year's a perfect example, albeit they had a bunch of trades and they kind of just put that team together. So it was kind of, you know, unfair to judge them too hard. I will say though that last year should have told you that you need a bench. Not only do you need a
100%.
bench, but you need role players that are going to be all stars in their roles. I have a problem. I'll take it to Philly for a second. We can get this in another episode. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but I have a problem with people on Twitter and all these Sixer fans that want to trade for Bradley Beal, then they want to trade for Zach LaVine, and then they want to trade for DeMar DeRozan, and then
Fred Van
relax.
Vliet.
The Van Vliet thing's a little different to me, but I'm not all that in on Van Vliet. I'll say this. The Sixers' problems lay way, way, way past Bradley Beal and all these guys. They don't need that. The Suns are going to give up 160 points a game. I can guarantee you right now that they will not win a championship for multiple
100%.
reasons. You can't fill out your roster with Terrence Rosses anymore and expect to win. Look at Denver. Denver had two guys. They're 1 and 2, took them there. Jamal Murray and Jokic. They show up every day. The 1 and 2 show up every single game. You can guarantee it. They're all stars. They'll get you there. You need your 3, 4, 5, and 6s to be all stars in their role. Aaron Gordon's a great example of that. He was an absolute stud, and he perfected taking advantage of his matchup that they gave him. He perfected the defensive side of the ball. KCP is a great role player. They have all these guys that are just Christian Brown, the rookie. They have
What
all
a
these
guy.
guys that go out and really are all stars in their role. And so when I see the Suns go out and get Bradley Beal, sure, it's exciting. And sure, I don't even know if they're a top 5 contender. Honestly, that could be a hot take. I haven't really thought about it, but I feel like I could definitely, if I thought about it, name 5 teams that could be in better contention. They have 5, I think they have 4 guys on the roster and they have no money left.
Mhm.
What are you going to do?
All the
Who's playing
minimum
defense?
level exceptions.
Right. And the other thing is that this is why I didn't want Bradley Beal more than anything. People in Philly love to shit on Embiid for not playing enough. There's 82 games in a regular season. Bradley Beal has played 90 in the last 2 years. And he's going to make $60
that's
million
nuts.
in 4 years. You're telling me I don't give a damn. I don't give a shit what you're trading for him. You're investing your next 4 years into that. And this big three. Kevin Durant is a great player. He's going to be old at some point. I'm going to feel bad for Devin Booker because they're wasting his prime. There's no chance, none, that they win a ring. Look at when they went to the finals that one year against the Bucks. It was Chris Paul and Devin Booker, and Ayton was an all-star in his role. And they had guys like Mikal Bridges. They had guys like Cam Johnson who played their role to a T, and that's why they got there. That's not how you don't win rings anymore, or really ever, unless it's like the Celtics with Ray Allen and all that, Kevin Durant Warriors,
Miami Heat with
Miami Heat. Right.
big
You don't
three.
win championships like that anymore, where you just stack your team. So good luck to them, but I don't think it's going to work out.
No, I totally agree. And the biggest loser of this trade, I'm gonna have to go with Chris Paul. I feel horrible. That guy, I I love Chris. Watching Chris Paul,
Me too.
he's got the passing. He's got that crisp mid range. Every time he pulls up, I'm like, that's in. He's just a great player, hard player to hate. And I mean, he's going to Team Washington. They're trying to rebuild. They're not doing it too
I
well. I
doubt he
mean,
stays on that team,
oh
though.
no, he's getting bought out, and he'll go to a team like maybe he'll go back to LA. I hope he goes back to LA. Teams up with PG and Kawhi, because I'm pretty sure Russ is out of there if I'm not mistaken. But I feel horrible for Chris Paul. But yeah, I definitely agree that you got to have role players. You can't just have 3 stars with nobody surrounding them. I think they're gonna offload DeAndre Ayton. This is my prediction. They offload DeAndre Ayton to a team like either Toronto or a team like Los Angeles, the Clippers, and try and get like a not as good center and then some bench pieces to surround these stars. But this trade just was a step backwards for them, in my opinion. Build around Booker, build around Durant. Sure, those are your 2 stars. Do not build. You can't bring in a 3rd star. It's not going to work out for them. Moving on. What more in the NBA? Let's go to your Sixers with the recent coach signing.
So for me, the only thing, if they run it back with the same roster, which I think they will do for the most part, with outside of some slight tweaks and things like that, because they're in tough spots, it's hard to get much better. But the only thing they could have done to get me back into it and get me believing again, like an idiot that I am when it comes to this team, is hiring this guy. Now I'm firm believer, if they can't do it with him, with Embiid, they can't do it with Embiid. They're gonna have to move him. And I hate saying that because he's the reason basketball is alive in the city. He's the reason people believe, whether it be for the right or wrong reasons. And he gave us so many great memories and great times. And I think he fought for a while to get on the court. And now, I hate saying it, but like, is he a winner? I don't know. It's hard to say that. I hate saying that, but it's hard. It's hard to tell. Well, I want to know what you think about him being a winner, honestly, from a Knicks perspective.
Who, Embiid?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like he goes out there and sure he'll have 40, 50 point nights. He'll go out there and then he'll say, you know what, I'm gonna sit this game out. I don't want to play this one. You know, the game's not going too well. I'm not gonna put in my full effort. He's not the type of guy like I don't know. We're not gonna get this Jokic MV debate started, but Jokic goes out there on a nightly basis and puts in the same amount of effort
I'm
and
actually
energy.
glad you brought that up. I have a strong opinion about this Jokic and Embiid thing. If I were to start a team, there's no doubt in my mind anymore that, you'd be crazy to say Embiid. You got to start the team with Jokic.
Sure.
However, and this is an unfair thing to say because they only match up about twice a year. When they match up, he
Oh,
kicks his
Embiid
ass.
dominates.
He
Embiid
kicks his
dominates.
ass every single
Embiid
time.
dominates.
But again, it's hard to, I'd rather start a team with Jokic. No
But
doubt in my mind.
yeah. But yeah, so I'm gonna have to go with Embiid as he picks and chooses when he wants to win and when he wants to sit out. Um, I was a fan of his Nick Nurse trade. He had a good run in Toronto, and didn't have the best year. Um, definitely believe in the Sixers and getting something done with him, hopefully getting past the second round. It's honestly been quite comical seeing them, all the Sixers fans, oh, this is our year, this is our year, this is our year. Second round exit yet again. And I laugh my ass off. Because you know what? There is nothing that brings me more joy than Philadelphia fans in pain. They're nothing. Nothing. You could present me with $1 million right now, and I'd rather watch the Eagles lose in the Super Bowl again. Because that brought me so much joy. Sure, the Giants got smoked by the Eagles. We don't even have to talk about that. The
I
Giants
had a
got
front row
smoked by the
seat.
Eagles in the playoffs. That was murder. But the Eagles losing in the Super Bowl, one of my favorite moments.
This is why I feel bad, because we're having a normal conversation about the Sixers, and you then bring up again how much real estate we have that you have to bring up that lost from like 4 months ago. It's cool though. I'm gonna go back
Wait,
to
wait,
what
wait,
we
wait, wait. But you brought up that Super Bowl win about what, 4 years ago now? 5 years ago?
I didn't bring it up.
Yeah, yeah.
When did
Philly
I bring
failed.
that up?
Philly
We're
failed.
moving on. We got a
Philly
whole new
failed.
team, new
Yep.
quarterback, new coach. We're moving on.
All
Bigger
right.
and better.
What more in the NBA we got to talk about?
I just want to touch briefly on this Harden thing
Sure.
because he drives me fucking nuts. I feel strongly about this. He deserves no more than what he made this past season. A year ago, when we lost to Miami in the playoffs, Daryl Moore, and credit to James Harden for once that he took a pay cut. Thank you, I guess. But I'll say this. When we went to him, we said, we'll give you a 1-year deal, and you got to prove to us that you deserve the max next offseason. Here we are. I have the same questions I did last offseason. I have the same amount of doubt. I have the same amount of setback. And I have the same amount of confidence, which is like borderline negative, honestly. Like, there's no way we get out of the second round if we run it back. I don't care who's coaching. And so, yes, the short term, we're a better team with him. Same time, there's no way in hell I'm offering him $1 more than what he got this season because he doesn't deserve $1 more. And I'm perfectly fine with him saying, oh, Houston's offering me a 3-year deal worth however many. I don't give a shit. You can go. You can go. Because I think a lot of times in Philly, I shouldn't say Philly. I should really say the Flyers are victim of this a lot, and the Sixers more than anybody. They don't really spend time, and they don't have the patience with young athletes. They don't let people develop. They don't give people the keys. Jokic, Murray, and Malone have been together, I think, for like 8 years before they won a title.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't waste their time going out to get Harden. They didn't waste their time going out to get, another star that would take the ball away from Murray and all this kind of stuff. There's no doubt in my mind. You can call me crazy, you can call me stupid. I don't really care. I'm not saying he'd be as good. I'm not saying that he'd be better. I think he'd be a tier below Jamal Murray if we gave Tyrese Maxey the keys. Meaning James Harden is gone, and he's the one with the ball. And he's the one.
That's
I hate
crazy.
when people say
That's
he can't
crazy.
orchestrate an offense. How do you know? Based off of what? What opportunity did he have? He shared the court with Ben Simmons, that gutless loser. How the hell could you judge him off him? And then he shares in the court with this fat fucking loser, James Harden. We're gonna judge Tyrese Maxey off of sharing the court with these two guys and say that he can't facilitate an offense. You know what also makes it way easier to facilitate an offense? When you have the MVP on your team. You can call him a loser, call him whatever you want. He's still pretty damn good.
No, he is. He is. He's talented. Uh, let's finish up with the NBA. What is one team you want to see win this offseason? Maybe not so much a team that you're a fan of, but a team that you want to see win this offseason, improve, take a step in the right direction to get to the playoffs, maybe even make a championship run.
Honestly, might be. I don't know. I'm a Knicks guy at heart. I root for him on the side. I don't have a problem with the Knicks. I want to see them get somebody.
All right.
I think basketball is way better. It's way cooler. It's a lot more fun when the Garden's rocking. I love it. I think it's a cool rivalry when we play each other, but I don't have a problem rooting for the Knicks at all. I love the Brunson signing. I kind of think
huge fan
Randall
of it.
gets a tad too much hate, but I understand it because if I were a Knicks fan, I would completely do the same thing. So I understand it. I'm just not the one to just send him out for nothing. I think you got to get the right. You can't just, you know what I mean? So I would love for them. The thing is, though, now that Bradley Beal's gone, I'm not really sure who the star is that they're going to get because they're
Spenny
probably
B
not
said
going to
the
get
world is
Dame.
happy when New York is
Yeah,
happy.
he's right.
Yes,
He
yes.
is right. He is right. He's definitely right. I don't know who the star is going to be that they can get because Dame, I don't see fitting with Brunson.
They got to go out and they got to get like what I've seen a lot of, and I'm not so sure how I'm feeling about it. Is I've seen a lot of cat potential trades, and
That's interesting.
it's interesting because Mitchell Robinson. I hate to say it, I really like him as a center.
Well,
He can't
he's not a
he can't
problem,
stay healthy. He
but he's not a
No, but no, but
problem.
the problem is they'd either ship him out or they'd put him on the bench, which I don't know if he'd get much time. Cat's playing 35 minutes these days. I don't know if they'd probably run Randall at the 5 when Cat's sitting and uh Cat at the 5, obviously, to start the games and finish the games. So I don't know how I'm feeling about that just because I'm a big Mitchell Robinson guy. But at the same time, Cat Cat's got to be moved from the Timberwolves. That two
Completely agree.
twin tower offense has got to stop. It was horrible this year watching Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns both in the post. They looked awful.
I think that going off your cat thing for a second,
Yeah.
uh, the he does make a little fool out of himself when he says all this shit on the internet. He's kind of being ridiculous. I mean, he said,
Embiid owns him. I will give you that.
"No,
Embiid owns him.
I'm not even like a hater. It's hard to hate him after everything that's happened to him. Personal life and all that stuff. He's
Fair.
gone through a ton of shit. So it's also hard to hate on him on the court because of how horrible they've treated him and built
Yeah.
around him. I think Anthony Edwards is a stud. I feel horrible for him too. He has to deal with all
Yeah.
that shit. But for me, with Cat, it's like you can't go out and say all this. He said the other day something like our run to get to the playoffs was more impressive than the Nuggets winning a ring. And I'm just then is this like he's treating like this run of second round exits for the Sixers is like a Bulls dynasty or something. Like it's
Yeah.
ridiculous. Like what are we talking about? He makes it hard, but I agree with it. Cat on the Knicks would be interesting.
Yeah.
I would like to see that. That's interesting. I never thought about that one. That'd be cool.
Yeah. A team I'm interested to see this offseason is the Oklahoma City Thunder. They got a
Good
bunch of
one.
young guys now. They got Shea, Giddy, Dort, both Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren coming back from injury. Who else they got off the bench? They got a couple other guys. Isaiah Joe, actually, former Sixer,
Another
was
guy that Sixers had no patience on.
flying with the threes off the bench. I mean, they got a good young core, and they got a lot of picks that they've acquired in trades to get rid of some of these guys that they've had in the past. What are your thoughts on the Thunder? What do you think they're going to be this upcoming season?
I like him. I did see. I don't want to expose him because I'm a big fan. I don't know if you know he is the Mad Dog Russo. He's a Sirius
Okay.
XM guy. He's been on
Yeah.
ESPN a lot lately. He made a list of the top 5 contenders last week and for next season,
Mm-hmm.
and he had them, I think, at like 4 or something. Which I don't want to come off like a Thunder hater because they're fun to watch, but that's ridiculous.
Nah, that made my jaw drop. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's
That's
pretty fucking
crazy.
stupid. But I love him. He's a funny guy. He's
Yeah.
entertaining to watch. But yeah, they're a fun team to watch. It'd be cool to see them make a run at somebody. But again, it's hard because do they want to do that? They have all these picks and a bunch of young guys on the team still. So I think they'll probably be patient with it. But I think they should in the West. The West is no doubt deeper than the East. It's harder to make the
100%.
playoffs. Much
You got
harder.
what? You got the Nuggets. You got the. I think the Lakers will come back. I hate the LeBron rumor. Is he coming back? Is he not? I think he's coming back.
Yeah,
He's
no.
got one more. He's
I
gonna
think
make
that
a
was
run at a
just a
title.
I think that was him just,
Oh, it was media. He
taking,
wants media
well,
attention.
not even that. I just think it was him like taking a shot at the rest of the team and being like, you know, I'm only around for a few more years. We got to go get this. But the Thunder, they made the play in last year, and they're only going to get better, you'd think. And they've
Mhm.
got to have a draft. I don't know exactly where, but they've got to have a good pick
I'd
somewhere.
imagine
They're
so.
gonna they're gonna make a move. They have all this money and all the draft picks. I mean, they're only going up from here. And all these teams like somehow get worse. So I could see them ceiling maybe like a 5 seed as a
I
ceiling.
was literally just about to say 5 seed.
Yeah, as a ceiling. But I realistically, I'm going like 6 to 8
Yeah,
maybe without really thinking about it.
yeah. All right, let's start with our closing segment. So we're gonna do each week. We're gonna do a shout out or two of the week. So Luke, we're gonna start off with you. Who is your or what team is your shout out of the week?
I don't want to spend too much time on it because I don't know how many interests we have in the audience, but I'm going to go with the U.S. soccer team. Huge, huge, huge week for the boys, taking home the Nations League, and they've won it in the past. Again, I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but I'll just say that the difference now is that they've won it. They won this one with dominance. They were by far, without question, if you watched 5 minutes, 10 minutes of the game, you could tell that they were by far the better team on the field. So that is very enticing and good news from here on out. 2026 could not come soon enough. I'm really excited to see everyone, to see them perform there. But I'm gonna shout out my boy Pulisic. He's finally playing like the Captain America people claim him to be. I wasn't a hater, but I was kind of like, dude, we're praising this guy. Like he's kind of a nobody in Europe, and he comes here and he's not scoring a ton of goals, but he was phenomenal so far. They got a game against Jamaica in the Gold Cup on Saturday. I feel like they should definitely win that one. They might even be worse than the teams that they've already played, but yeah, I'm really excited about that. It's good time to be a U.S. soccer fan. It's going up from here. So yeah, that's my shout out.
Yeah, I was watching the game against Mexico, and I'm not too big of a soccer fan, but I definitely was I definitely was surprised, very excited to, watch our native country beat up on Mexico, and those little Mexicans they got a little angry, they got a little feisty, got in some fights at the end. It was like, dude, like, are we seriously fighting about this? We're beating your ass and you're seriously gonna try and start fights right now. Come on now. But going off that, my shout out of the week actually comes from a foreign country. Shohei Ohtani. Listen, Shohei Ohtani leads the league in homers right now. Pete Alonso, I believe, is second right now. Obviously, huge Pete Alonso fan. Shohei Ohtani is a generational talent, and I'm so glad we get to watch him on an everyday basis because, sure, like it's a monopoly that he's both a pitcher and a hitter, but he's just so much fun to watch. He's hitting a home run. I think he's what at 24 home runs. He smokes the ball off his bat. And pitching, he's a great pitcher too. He's an AL MVP front runner. This past week, I want to say he had 3 or 4 home runs. Just absolute dominance in the game of baseball right now. It sucks that baseball, honestly, is the only thing that we got to watch right now. But we'll see. Hopefully, we get some sparks from the baseball perspective. Any other shout outs of the week, Luke?
Well, I was just gonna, while we're on the Otani thing, I was wondering your thoughts on where he's gonna go.
Oh, oh, I actually love
Don't
that. Um,
don't.
no. I don't worry. I'm not gonna go there. Even though I have aspirations of it.
All right.
Um, in my opinion, I'd probably say he's going to the Dodgers. The Dodgers, they have all this money. Um, I don't know too much about their farm system. I don't know too much about many farm systems, but I definitely think he's going to go to the Dodgers. Um, they a big spotlight, big city. Obviously, he's in LA already, but he's going to go to the NL. Going to team up with Mookie, with Freddie Freeman, Will Smith. I could definitely see him fitting there. Obviously, one.
You're definitely the baseball expertise on this show, no doubt. But I'll just say my quick opinion on it. I think that in other sports, not so much baseball, I can't speak for, but you look at guys like Giannis and Luca and those kind of people that play from another country, they come right to the US and I don't really think that they see like I got to be in a big market because they come here and I don't think Giannis or Luca has any urge to go to LA or New York or Boston or Philly or any of these bigger cities or things like that. I personally, I think it's best for baseball if he avoids the Yankees, the Mets, the Phillies, the Dodgers. I guess the Angels, even though they're not really marketed that well, even with Trout and Ohtani on the team, I think it'd be awesome to see him go to like a team like Cincinnati. I don't know if they pay him all
I
that money, if they have
I
enough
would
money.
love that.
Yeah, it would be really cool.
Cincinnati actually is my shout out of the week. They just what they swept they swept the Astros, who my Mets beat finally. Thank the Lord, got in the win column. They're on a 9-game win streak right now.
Well, they
Actually,
got
looking at my
the
TV, the
rookie,
Reds.
that rookie.
Ellie De La Cruz,
Right.
he is a stud.
So I think if baseball could put him in a scenario where even if he stays on the Angels, it's not like the worst thing in the world. But I don't know. If I'm Rob Manfred, I'm praying he does not go to because I'm a Yankees guy, but I think Judge and him on the same team is not great for baseball in
It
terms of a
would
marketing perspective.
be horrible.
Because I think that they're the two biggest stars, biggest names probably right
100%.
now in the league. I don't think that them on the same team is good for the sport.
I'd love to see him go to the NL. I honestly like I don't know if you can compare AL and NL right now, but I'd love to see him go to the NL and face Acuna and the Braves a couple times a year. You know, Braves are a powerhouse in the NL. I don't think there's I think they're gonna go back, and it hurts me to say this as a Mets fan. I think they're going back to the World Series. Just a great team with Acuna. You got Albies, you got Olson's producing Riley. I want to say their front six. I was looking at their lineup the other day. Their front six guys all have 10 plus homers. It's ridiculous. Sean Murphy, what a great addition. Hurts me to say Darno was a great pickup for them. It'll be interesting to see what baseball produces this year, where Ohtani goes. But we are running out of time, so we want to give one final shout out to our sponsor today, FanUp. FanUp is the best way to enjoy fantasy sports, daily MLB contests, and more. Win great prizes. Sign up today. Use promo code A2D for 5,000 bonus points, a $50 value. Go to FanUp in the App Store. That is all we have for today. Luke, you want to give them final sign off?
That's about it. We'll see you next week.
Awesome. Thank you guys for tuning in. Much love to all our fans. Thank you.